Welcome back, friends at G&K. It's good to be back with you again. We got another concept to bring to you that really impacts all of our viewers. How important is it to spread fertilizer this fall with prices being as high as they are? We've gotten a lot of questions from our clients about this very thing. While we've had many skip phosphates because the price does not really support those, and a lot of levels may be sufficient that this is an opportunity you can skip, the question becomes, what about potash? Can we cut back on potassium for next year? Maybe that is something you can, and maybe it isn't something you should skip. So let's address the importance of potassium to your crop. When we talk about nutrients, particularly one of the first things that might come to mind would be nitrogen or phosphorus, but potassium plays a vital role in production today. So potassium, or K, is the nutrient that helps regulate water movement in the plant, builds stalk strength, improves standability, plays a huge role in grain fill, helps in disease prevention, and it's also vital for stress tolerance, which helps your corn or beans or wheat handle when we get to periods of heat, drought, stress, disease pressure. We call it potash because historically people extracted potassium salts by leaching wood ashes and evaporating the liquid in iron pots, hence the word potash. Today, though, most of our potash is mined from deep underground deposits, primarily from Canada, and processed into red or pink granular fertilizer you're familiar with today. Let's be honest, fertilizer prices are at some historically high numbers. They're all over the place, and it's something that we have to question and take a good hard look at. Let's also talk about the fact that isn't it ironic that when prices get high, all of a sudden there's a biological or some other product that you can replace your macronutrients with that will magically eliminate the need for fertilizer. Quite frankly, we've taken a hard look at a lot of those different products to see how they might replace fertilizer or what that might do to make things more available or unlock fertility that's existing in your soil that's already there. But unfortunately, we're yet to come up with some magic sauce that can actually do that. Now, while that doesn't mean there isn't a place for them and there won't be something that we stumble across, you cannot ignore the macros that we need in today's modern agriculture, because it takes big numbers to support big numbers. And if you walk away from that bucket, you will pay the piper someday, and you may pay it in terms of yield. Potassium is a mobile nutrient. It moves with moisture, and we see that in our tissue and now doing sap analysis. And over the years, we've noticed a decline in potassium levels across a lot of fields and a lot of soil tests in general, especially in areas where fertilizer rates may have been reduced or maybe not have kept up with what yields have actually been taken off. So the point of that is we got to stay aggressive on potash or potassium. And when drought hits, K uptake suffers even more because it moves through a process called mass diffusion, which means it takes water or moisture to move that into the plant. So if you're short on moisture, your potassium availability is limited as well, which is another reason to maintain a full bucket of potassium all the time. So does it take large amounts of potassium to raise big yields? It actually does. That's one of the most important things it takes to support big numbers today. So like I said before, it takes big numbers to raise big numbers, and K, or potassium, is one of my favorite things to keep excessive levels of, because when we enter periods of drought and disease and stress, potassium will shine. With today's economy, believe it or not, potash is one of the best things going. That's one of the best buys, one of the cheapest replacements, and one of the best things you can put your money in today and moving into the 26th season. We can get behind the idea of skipping phosphates because the relative cost per pound of P2O5 doesn't support the prices that we're having to pay. It's different for potassium. And like we stated, potassium's more of a mobile nutrient. It will move a lot more frequently than what phosphorus is. So if we're gonna skip one, phosphorus is the best one to skip. So the best buy is potassium, the worst buy is phosphorus. We want to stay consistent on our potassium values. As a rule of thumb, we like to see soil tests showing potassium base saturation in the 3% range, depending on your soil type and total exchange capacity. Keeping K values in that optimal window helps your crops perform consistently year after year and will help prevent a drop that is difficult to overcome, because potash is more than a number. It's fundamental to your fertility program. Remember, we're committed to giving you data-driven decisions. So our job is to help find the best fit for your farm and set the stage for you. We are not paid based on product sales or what you should spend your money on. If you're questioning your potassium levels or your phosphate levels, or wondering about products that you may have used and aren't delivering your expected performance, give us a call. We can cater our recs to your budget and your operation to help keep your farm sustainable and set the stage for what your best opportunity is for next year. At the end of the day, it really comes down to responsible agronomics, the right nutrients at the right level, and allocating the right funding to get to that point. We want to thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you like it. We hope this is another concept that you can take back to your farming operation and keep in mind. And until then, we hope to see you in the next video. I know what I want to say, but then when I think about it, then I forget. Dang it. All right, this is good stuff here. Heck, I didn't even know that. Well, we need a Donald Trump teleprompter. Newman. Okay, this hits to the core right here, baby. I love it. Here's my favorite part of the talk. Okay, it's some of this shit here I'm supposed to remember. Bruising and bruising in the cutlass. Do you like that or no? When you nod to me, I'm like, oh, what did you say on that I need to say? Is that good and goofy? How do you say that? Does that fit the groove there, dude? Do you like that or no? What was it again? Those are fair questions.